Samsung Innovation Quotient, a nationwide hunt for India's best grassroots innovators. The first of the top 11 innovators to present her idea was Shiva Spurti on behalf of Malesham, an innovator who had mechanized the tedious process of hand weaving the Pochampalli silk sari.
Now, the process of weaving a Pochampalli sari involves a series of steps. Firstly, the silk thread is acquired in bundles which needs to be separated. The thread is made into a triangular frame. This very process of making a thread into a triangular frame is called the ASU process. Each and every sari that is made, the thread has to be wound an astonishing 9,000 times per every sari. This machine is a marvel because it has a lot of advantages. When it was done manually, maximum ASU process for 1 or 2 saris could be done per day. But now, as it was done on the machine, they could do almost about ASU process for 6 saris per day.
You're talking about the market size being fairly fixed. Is there any potential to use this process beyond saris?
Exactly. The process is not exactly the same in the other places. It needs customization. It has to be changed. So the same machine can't really fit into the other markets.
The reality is your customer from the manufacturing perspective is the family which uses the machine. It's not the purchaser of the sari, it's the family which uses the machine. So I think really thinking about how you focus on their needs and you focus on ensuring that the product is not just meeting health needs or increasing productivity, but also having the right kind of impact where they're seeing value in it, I think is the key in the success of the product.
Next up was Tony Thomas, whose innovation was a hybrid ventilation system for the non-AC coaches of Indian trains.
Now this is the working concept. The ducted fan suction system sucks in air. The air moves on to the 2-level filtering. It is just a physical filter. It moves to the terracotta heat exchanger, which is nothing. It's an earthen heat exchanger made of clay, soaked in sponge, and the sponge is soaked with water. Simultaneously, the natural flow intake system sucks in air from outside. This comes into effect when the train is moving. So we don't need to fix a motor for this guy to suck in air. It is natural flow. It also goes to the same procedure to the central ventilation network. We have done the 1:3 scale model airflow analysis and computational testing, and not the full 1:1 model has not yet been done.
When you install this on a coach, does it change the external dimensions of the coach?
No. The only change which you can see on the coach is like you will have a hole of a diameter which is close to 20 to 25 centimeters just above the doors.
Okay, so all this ducting runs along the inside of the...
Yes.
The question I have, I think Dipesh, we need you to answer it. Will it work? From an engineering point of view, it seems 50-50 to me. Will it work?
I was just about to ask you, Tony, that if this could have been done, it could have been done by so many people already. So I don't know, I didn't see any glimpse of how it's going to work. You have just done the design now, you don't even have a proof of concept.
The tested model was of 12 centimeter duct placed at 1 meter distance.
Did it work?
Yeah, it worked.
By how many degrees did you reduce the temperature inside?
The difference is slightly 1 to 2 degrees.
K. Chandrasekhar from Bangalore then presented his innovation, a pre-screening ophthalmology solution called Trinetra.
So what is really the problem first we have tackled is actually darkness, which is black, which is blindness. So quick statistics, 39 million people are blind globally, 12 million are in India. WHO says if there is no intervention, this will go to 75 million. So what is that we have as a solution? We have a product called Trinetra. This is a single integrated device. It's an intelligent device. It is non-invasive, it does not require dilation, so people don't have to waste their time for dilating. It can be operated most importantly by a minimally trained technician. A couple of days he can operate. In terms of customer and test sites, we have already put it pan-India, primarily focused on hospitals because we need to get the endorsement from the doctors and hospitals to begin with.
Can the smartphone have this technology built in so that instead of having this device with the smartphone camera, can you do this?
No, see, actually what we use is a CMOS camera. It's a half-inch CMOS camera. That's why we are able to bring down the price point very low. But it requires heavy optics because see, we are going inside the eye. So which means, and see, once we make a device, doctors want quality on par with what they have seen.
You clearly believe that you have to have the perfect product to be able to do that kind of deep scanning. versus maybe something being planted onto a mobile phone which may not give you every possible condition being identified, but may give you most of the conditions being identified, or in terms, how do you see that playing out, and isn't that disruptive for you?
See, the big problem is the mobile phone related game, whichever is done by MIT and others, is a subjective test. So they will ask you, can you see this, can you connect this, are you seeing these dots? So what happens is, when you are going to an illiterate guy, it is going to be very difficult for you to implement this, because if he answers you wrong, you get everything wrong.
Correct.
Okay. Whereas in our case, it is a image.
Up next was Onergy, a renewable energy venture.
So Onergy solves the last mile distribution problem for renewable energy products in rural India. We do this through our innovative distribution model, which consists of setting up renewable energy centers in local communities to deliver solar lighting, electrification, and cooking solutions to the bottom of the pyramid. Over 50% of India lacks access to energy and relies on fossil fuels such as kerosene, which are unsafe, unhealthy, polluting. And solar has been available to the rural market for over 2 decades now. So our innovative distribution model, we call them renewable energy centers, or Shakti Kendras, and we set them up in local communities in partnership with NGOs or MFIs. So we use their local network and their positive reputation in the community, set up a center. So the center acts as a retail hub, and we recruit and train local entrepreneurs to be distributors who earn commissions based on sales, so it's providing direct jobs in the community.
Is there enough business in just energy products to get the REC to a break-even point?
Currently, 2 of our RECs are break-even on a per unit basis.
If price were not a consideration, would these products not sell themselves, or is it not quite as simple as that?
I think, if price wasn't a concern, that people, I think for most part, people say, of course we would like to have these, but how do you expect us to afford it? That's sort of the general sentiment that we get. That
in West Bengal, where you work, do you see the government's electrification plan as a serious competitor to your business model, as the government starts providing electricity to more villages through whatever means it does, hydroelectric, coal or nuclear? How does your business model start getting affected if that happens?
Yeah, typically, so the grid line obviously is a concern, but in so many areas they're so remote that it's never going to reach there. That's the fact of the matter. And the government now is, that's why they're investing, that their plan is to have solar, either decentralized grids and power plants set up so that they don't actually have to increase the grid line.